What if the safest way to fly was built on stories of almost dying? Every flight you take rides on lessons learned from heart-stopping close calls. Jets lining up on the wrong pavement, landings toward planes still on the runway, and fog hiding danger until seconds before impact. These terrifying moments reshaped aviation safety and keep modern flying as safe as it is today. Buckle up. We're diving into the scariest near-miss collisions ever caught in aviation. The Air Canada Taxiway Nightmare, San Francisco, 2017. It was a calm July night in 2017 when Air Canada Flight 759 and Airbus A320 inbound from Toronto descended towards San Francisco International Airport. The crew, cleared to land on runway 28R, lined up, or at least thought they did. In reality, the pilots had mistaken a parallel taxiway, taxiway C, for the runway. On that taxiway, 4 fully loaded airliners waited nose to tail for takeoff clearance. In the cockpit of AC-759, everything looked normal enough in the dark. Runway and taxiway lighting can appear similar if you're fatigued, and the approach is visual. Then came the chilling part. The A320 descended to less than 100 feet above those parked aircraft. In the control tower, nobody had noticed yet. One of the pilots waiting on the taxiway reportedly broke the stunned silence with a transmission pointing out the alignment error. Seconds before the A320 would have become the world's most infamous multi-aircraft collision, the Air Canada crew went around, climbing back into the night sky. Analysts later said this could have rivaled or surpassed Tenerife. The 1977 disaster that killed 583 had the A320 touched down. The NTSB's investigation revealed that pilot fatigue and visual misperception played roles. The near-catastrophe triggered a technology leap. The FAA rolled out tower software that detects when an approaching plane seems lined up with a taxiway rather than a runway. It's a prime case of close call turns into safety breakthrough. FedEx meets Southwest in the fog. Austin, 2023. Fast forward to the pre-dawn hours of February 4th, 2023. Austin Bergstrom International Airport was blanketed in dense fog. Visibility was so poor that the runway ahead looked like a gray smear on the FedEx 767's instruments. The cargo crew had been cleared to land on runway 18L. At the same time, a Southwest Airlines 737 was cleared for takeoff on that very runway. Controllers struggling with low visibility and heavy morning traffic believed the timing would work, that the Southwest jet would be airborne before the FedEx arrived. But fog eats distance perception. As the FedEx descended through the murk, the crew's instruments showed something alarming. Another aircraft was still rolling below. They keyed the mic in calm pilot speak. FedEx is on the go. Translation: abort the landing and climb hard now. The FedEx jet skimmed over the Southwest 737 by an estimated 100 feet, a blink in aviation terms, before climbing out. The NTSB's 2024 final report blamed a controller's flawed assumption and noted the absence of advanced surface surveillance tools at Austin. This terrifying moment has since fueled a major push for cockpit-based runway occupancy alerts, systems that tell pilots in real time if someone's on the runway ahead. FedEx's cool-headed go-around didn't just save the morning's flights, it might save many more in the future. Friday night drama at JFK, American 106 versus Delta 1943. New York's JFK Airport thrives on speed. On January 13th, 2023, a Friday night rush was underway. Delta Flight 1943, a Boeing 737, was cleared for takeoff on runway 4L. At the same time, American Airlines Flight 106, a Boeing 777 bound for London, was taxiing across the same runway. Whether it was distraction, task saturation, or the chaotic radio chatter that comes with one of the world's busiest airports, the American crew crossed the hold short line and entered the runway. Suddenly, the tower controller noticed and shouted for Delta to abort. The Delta pilots, accelerating toward rotation speed, braked hard and steered off safely. A hair-raising maneuver with a fully loaded jet. The NTSB's later findings were eye-opening. They documented how interruptions and multitasking can break pilots' situational awareness, even among highly experienced crews. Another twist made headlines. The American jet kept flying to London, and by the time investigators asked for its cockpit voice recorder, the crucial 30-minute loop had recorded over the incident. Subpoenas followed to reconstruct what happened. This near miss has since become a rallying cry for better data preservation, stronger cockpit tower safeguards, and systems that can warn both sides when an aircraft is about to cross an active runway. Hollywood Burbank's split-second save. 2023. Big hubs aren't the only places where danger lurks. On February 22, 2023 at Hollywood Burbank Airport, a compact, busy field surrounded by suburbs and hills, a Mesa Airlines Embraer E-175 was seconds from touchdown. In the tower, another flight was cleared for takeoff on the same runway. Suddenly, the Mesa pilots realized the conflict. They pushed the throttles forward and climbed away in a crisp, practiced go-around. To passengers, it might have felt abrupt but unremarkable. To safety pros, it was a textbook life-saving move. Investigators later noted how Burbank's runway geometry and traffic patterns increase controller workload. The incident underscored the importance of precise phraseology and pilot vigilance. When the system falters and even well-trained controllers can make timing errors, well-trained pilots remain the final barrier. Sarasota's double clearance. 2023. A few days before the Burbank event on February 16, 2023, Sarasota Bradenton International Airport witnessed a simpler but equally chilling scenario. An Air Canada Rouge Airbus A321 was cleared to take off, while an American Airlines Boeing 737 was cleared to land on the same runway. This wasn't fog or darkness, it was a procedural slip. Air traffic control issued conflicting clearances, and neither side caught the error until the conflict became obvious. Thankfully, the crews managed to avoid catastrophe, but the event triggered a full NTSB investigation. In 2025, the board concluded that ATC was primarily responsible, citing a lapse in monitoring and coordination. The fixes here aren't flashy. Better training, sharper readback discipline, and improved surface displays that show controllers exactly where each aircraft is. These changes may not make headlines, but they're the backbone of aviation safety. The viral but misleading Barcelona video in 2014. Some near misses become internet legends, and the Barcelona incident is the classic. In July 2014, a telephoto video showed an Aerolíneas Argentina's Airbus A340 casually taxiing across runway 02 at Barcelona El Prat, just as a U-Tear Boeing 767 approached to land. The 767 went around, and the video shot from afar with a zoom lens made it look like the two aircraft missed by mere feet. Millions gasped online. Later analysis painted a calmer picture. The spacing was more than the dramatic clip suggested, and the UT aircrew had plenty of margin. Still, the runway incursion itself was real and violated safety rules. It reminded the industry that casual ground crossings can quickly create conflicts, especially if visibility or communication falters. And for the public, it's a great lesson in how camera angles can turn a controlled go-around into what looks like a Hollywood stunt. And that's our deep dive into some of the scariest near-miss collisions ever caught in aviation. The close calls that keep safety improving so the rest of us can sip our ginger ale in peace. If you found this video fascinating, hit that like button to let us know. Got a favorite near miss or a flight deck moment you'll never forget? Drop it in the comments. We love hearing your stories. And of course, if you're into gripping aviation tales, safety deep dives, and the occasional nervous chuckle at how close we've come to disaster, subscribe and ring that little bell so you don't miss our next flight. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, a go-around is just a pilot saying, "Let's not make the news today."